My name is Michael, and I've been renting in New York City apartments for the past 3 years. I also work at the Guarantors as a partner success manager, which is essentially a business development role with a focus on client retention. What is a guarantor? A guarantor is a responsible party. This is usually a parent, sibling, or other relative who signs onto the lease and assumes financial responsibility in the event that the primary leaseholder cannot pay rent. So in the simplest terms, this is a person who has to pay rent if the renter cannot. Now, how is that different from a cosigner? Sometimes the terms are used interchangeably, but there are a few key differences. A cosigner is essentially a roommate. This is somebody who is living in the apartment with you. They're required to pay the rent every month, just like you are. For some people, a cosigner is a better option than a guarantor, but if you can't find a roommate or you don't want a roommate, you'll need a guarantor. A guarantor is on the sidelines. They only come into play in the event that the primary leaseholder cannot pay their monthly rent. Both a guarantor and a cosigner help to make property managers feel safer when leasing to residents who they consider risky. And there are many situations in which a property manager would ask for you to find a guarantor. Some of the most common reasons are if you're a non-US resident or an international student with foreign financial documents. If you have a low credit score, if you have no credit score, if you have limited funds, inconsistent employment, or unconventional sources of income. Anything that would give the property manager the perception that you do not meet their approval requirements. Approval requirements differ from city to city and from property manager to property manager. So in New York City, most property managers require prospective renters to make 40 times the monthly rent in yearly income. If you're like most people, you don't make 40 times the monthly rent in yearly income. So what do you do in this situation? One thing you can do is find a guarantor. Now, a guarantor can be anybody. Like I said, it's usually a relative, but this person has to be able to step in and make rental payments in the event that you cannot. So most property managers have approval requirements for the guarantors as well. Property managers typically ask that guarantors make 80 times the monthly rent in yearly income. It's kind of a step backwards. If you find yourself in a situation where you're not making 40 times the monthly rent, and you have a property manager come back to you and say, well, that won't work, so can you find somebody who makes 80 times the monthly rent? You might be scratching your head a bit. What do you do in this situation? There are companies out there, one being the guarantors, who act as a third-party guarantor for people who don't have a wealthy relative to lean on. If you find yourself in this situation, apply on our website. It's free to apply. There's no harm in applying just to see if you'll get approved. We only do soft credit checks, so it won't affect your score. I hope this information was helpful to you as you navigate the apartment hunting experience. If you have any questions, reach out. We have a great team of phone operators working every day from 9 to 6 Eastern Standard Time. You can also check out our website and other videos for additional resources. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more financial advice from the Guarantors. Coming soon. Bye, guys.